And in sales, what is the exact language you need to use or avoid to make sure your clients want you and your products and services?
In my experience, if all of your language is goal-oriented in your marketing materials and your sales process, no one will buy now. They'll all tell you that they will at some point want to do that, but they will not sign on the contract now. How many of you have that experience as well? Okay. So here's what you need to do, and lots of people have said this, you need to find the problem, but the issue is that's not enough. You need to speak the language of moving away from problems. May I give you some examples? I want to say the same tune twice. Let's say I'm a real estate salesman, for the sake of argument. If I'm speaking to one of my customers who moves toward a goal, then I tell them that this is a big house. It's close to shopping centers. It's close to schools. And it's convenient for public transport. If my customers are moving away from things that they do not want, I don't say that. What I say is, this house is not too big, it's not too small. It is not far from public transport. You don't have to hike it for 4 hours to get to the school, and you don't have to worry about where you're going to go shopping. Okay, do you hear the language? I want you to think about this. Goal-oriented language, which we've all bought into with the power of positive thinking, is a complete mismatch to what most of us need to be saying in order to sell what we do. Instead of saying, this is what you will achieve, you need to say, this is what you'll never have to deal with ever again. Are you tired of customers who look at your stuff and then say, okay, I'll think about it later? Well, if you don't want that to happen again, this is what you might need to do.
These patterns, called moving toward or moving away from, help you understand what triggers motivation, what makes people do what they do, and how they make decisions. In January 2006, CTV News asked me to analyze the strategies used by each of the federal parties during the Canadian federal election. Have a look at this.
Harper is pro-Iraq war, anti-Kyoto, and socially conservative.
He says he opposes U.S.-style private health care, but he personally uses a private clinic.
If voters remember anything about this election, they'll remember the attack ads.
A Harper victory will put a smile on George W. Bush's face. Well, at least someone will be happy, eh?
You've got the drum, the military beat, and the really negative thing. You can probably almost feel anxiety rising.
Shelle Rose Charvet is an expert on below-conscious communication.
Stephen Harper actually announced he wants to increase military presence in our cities. Canadian cities.
They're using what we call command language. That is, this is the way it is. This is the facts. That's the way it is. When you do that to adults, you tend to get a bad result because adults don't want to be told how it is.
He said the Liberal Party was not corrupt.
Again, Rose Charvet points out the negative soundtrack that she says creates a feeling of anxiety.
When people feel emotionally attacked, it activates the same areas in the brain and the body as when they're physically attacked.
If you voted Liberal in the past, but can't vote Liberal this time because of their corruption and endless broken promises.
Rose Charvet finds this new NDP ad a little better.
It's still an attack ad, but that is so reduced by the upbeat soundtrack. The upbeat soundtrack says there is a solution.
The newer Liberal and Conservative ads have changed in tone.
We're a nation that believes in prosperity, yet shows compassion towards those of us who need it the most.
He works long hours, he works very hard.
And now, they see a leader who is more like one of them.
But she points out there is no bridge between the attack ads and the new ads. She says the disconnect does not help with any of the party's credibility.
We have had attack ads, but never anything as vitriolic as we have now. And I think we're going to pay in the long run.